Manchester United could turn to Portuguese winger Raphael Leao, 26, in the summer, with AC Milan open to exploring a swap deal involving 28-year-old England forward Marcus Rashford, 25-year-old Uruguay midfielder Manuel Ugarte or Netherlands striker Joshua Zirkzee, 24. Milan might completely overhaul their attack in the summer, and an intermediary has begun working to bring Raphael Leao to Manchester United. The officials appear to have made up their mind after selling the Portuguese star amid his recent downturn in form and overall inconsistency and attitude, La Gazzetta dello Sport informs. The attacker only wishes to join a top team if he were to leave. He has manageable wages, €5.5 million plus bonuses. Instead, there's no shot his €175 million release clause gets activated. The Rossoneri could settle for €50 million or so, or concoct a swap. Leao could be a fallback target for Manchester United, which covered Aston Villa's Morgan Rogers, who's a lot more expensive than the Milan stalwart. He's also on Barcelona's radar. The Red Devils have a few players who could interest the counterparty: Joshua Zirkzee, Manuel Ugarte, and Marcus Rashford, who should return from a loan to Catalunya. The Serie A giants are ready to move on from Christopher Nkunku, Niklas Füllkrug, and Santiago Gimenez as well. They'll target a physical marksman first. Alexander Sørloth is currently the hierarchy's top option ahead of Nicolas Jackson and Goncalo Ramos, who are pricier. The former Bologna man has different traits and can easily fit next to a number 9 and Christian Pulisic. If the plan is to stick with 3-5-2, which looks to be the case, one between the Portuguese forward and the USMNT representative has to go. Such a front line hasn't worked, and they are too cumbersome not to be regulars. If they are open to creative solutions and malleable on the price tag, it won't be too hard. If he were to leave, Leao would leave Milan after arriving in the summer of 2019. He has a contract until 2028 that guarantees him €5.5 million net plus bonuses. United would have no problem paying him this amount or even more. However, it's impossible for Milan to get the money from his release clause, set at €175 million when they hoped he would join the world's best. Now Furlong and Ter would settle for a third. The boos from the fans at the last 2 home games, combined with his use in the unwelcome position of centre-forward, are making Rafa think twice about leaving the club that has become so dear to him. The condition leaked from those close to him is that the offer must come from a top club, because he only wants to leave Milan for a club of the same prestige. For now, the move to Saudi Arabia is firmly rejected. We'll see in the future. Certainly, with his departure, the Devils would have the money to launch an attack on the Norwegian Sørloth, who wants to leave Atletico and is eyeing the Rossoneri, or to choose one of the other 9 they are keeping an eye on, from Jackson, returning to Chelsea, to Vlahovic, who still hasn't renewed his contract with Juve, by way of Goncalo Ramos, who Allegri likes like Sørloth, but costs more than the former Villarreal player. Meanwhile, Mason Mount has expressed his belief that Manchester United possess the necessary quality and mindset to mount a serious challenge for the Premier League title next season. The 27-year-old midfielder is nearing the conclusion of his 3rd campaign at Old Trafford, a period marked by injuries, setbacks, and intense competition that have limited him to just 69 appearances since his move from Chelsea. Despite this, Mount maintains an unwavering self-belief, coupled with confidence in the capabilities of a United squad that Michael Carrick has guided to the brink of Champions League qualification. Mount, European champion with Chelsea in 2021, firmly believes the Red Devils have the quality to contend for the league title next term, even as significant decisions loom regarding the manager and squad. "I have a goal of winning the Premier League," Mount stated. "Obviously I've won the Champions League already. But can we win the league? Yes, I think we can as a group." He emphasized the importance of a winning mentality. "We have to have that kind of mentality. It may seem a little bit far away, but you have to have that mentality to really push yourself as a group." Mount pointed to past performances against top-tier opposition as evidence of their potential. "We've shown what we can do against the big teams already: Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, so we've done it. We've already shown that this season, so we definitely can do it." The challenge, he noted, lies in consistency. It's about now doing it on a bigger stage in the Champions League and doing it more consistently in the Premier League. "I'll hopefully be a massive part in that moving forward next season. Yeah, it's a goal. I want to win the Premier League. United are targeting a league title to coincide with their 150th anniversary in 2028, and Mount's comments underscore a renewed optimism under Carrick following a turbulent period. The England international praised head coach Carrick's calm confidence, highlighting how it complements his extensive knowledge and experience of achieving success, alongside his effective individual management. It was difficult at the beginning because Michael comes in and I got injured, so I missed a few games at the beginning, Mount explained. But he was brilliant with me and speaking to me and just saying, look, I want you back, you're a massive part of the team and the squad, and when you're around the lads you obviously have a big effect, so I know where I stand within the group. Beyond the pitch, Mount recently made his comeback from injury as a substitute in Monday's 2-1 victory over Brentford, before heading to St George's Park for a special event in collaboration with Make-A-Wish UK. After 18 months of meticulous planning with his brother Lewis, 11 children living with critical illnesses were given the unique opportunity to experience life as a footballer, eating, sleeping, and training like professionals during an immersive 2-day gathering. The event culminated in a memorable match, with Mount personally funding the initiative and managing Wishes United, assisted by teammate Luke Shaw, to a resounding 32-2 victory against Jamie Redknapp's team of mascots. In other news,
Fabrizio Romano has revealed that a return to Serie A for Sandro Tonali is now considered absolutely impossible this summer. As a result, it paves the way for Manchester United to act on their interest and pursue a deal for the Newcastle United talisman. Romano adds that Tonali is happy to continue plying his trade in the Premier League, where he has garnered suitors in the form of United and Manchester City. However, the latter are fully prioritising Elliot Anderson and are considered favourites in the race for the Nottingham Forest star, so United may have a clear run at Tonali. The Italian international is contracted to St James's Park until 2029, with Newcastle holding the option of extending his stay by an additional 12 months. That being said, Tonali is said to be 100% adamant about playing Champions League football for the coming seasons, which the Magpies will not be able to offer. They sit 14th placed in the league heading into match week 35 after losing 4 straight matches. The 25-year-old, formerly of AC Milan and Brescia, has racked up 76 Premier League appearances over the last 2.5 years. He missed the chance to add to his experience for 10 months due to the ban he served for breaching betting regulations over in Italy, but swiftly got back to his best when making his return to competitive action in August 2024. Tonali will not be taking part in the World Cup this summer, meaning United can get to work on their potential coup as soon as the window opens. United are considering a player plus cash deal to sign Newcastle United midfielder Sandro Tonali this summer, according to Sports Boom. Caretaker manager Michael Carrick has boosted his chances of being given the job permanently after leading the club up to 3rd in the standings, with the decision on what they do next now lying with United Chiefs. A return to the Champions League for the first time since the 2023-24 campaign will not only boost the club financially, but it could also affect the calibre of the player they can attract to Old Trafford. United's priority this summer is to bring in at least 2 new central midfielders, with many players from the Premier League on their shortlist, including Tonali. United already know that they will be losing Casemiro, who scored his 10th Premier League goal of the season against the Bees, when his contract expires at the end of the season. He might not be the only South American Red Devil on his way out of Old Trafford though, with United ready to sacrifice Manuel Ugarte too, according to Sports Boom. While United are looking to sign a top-class replacement for Casemiro, who has been outstanding under Carrick, they could also sign an upgrade on Ugarte too. The Uruguay international's limitations when it comes to ball progression and build-up play are said to have come under scrutiny, with a separate report suggesting that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is keen for the club to cash in on the player they paid £50 million 2 summers ago. Meanwhile, after agreeing Harry Maguire's new contract earlier this month, the next big deal to complete was Kobbie Mainoo's. The Manchester United midfielder has suffered his toughest season to date, even if it will end on a positive note. Mainoo started the campaign completely out of Ruben Amorim's plans. In what now looks like a foolish move, the former head coach chose to drop Bruno Fernandes into a deeper position alongside Casemiro to play Amad, Brian Bumo, and Mateus Cunha. This left no room for Mainoo, who was forced to bide his time. Amorim insisted he was a fan of the midfielder, but his actions told a different story. credit should be given to Mainu, who managed to keep his head down during this tough period. He was not helped by his brother Jordan Mainuham's t-shirt stunt against Bournemouth, but eventually, continuing to work hard without reward, paid dividends. Amorim's departure at the start of January opened the door for Mainu, and the midfielder needed no second introduction. The return to 4-2-3-1 allowed Bruno Fernandes to step back into attacking midfield and bring Mainu back into the pivot alongside Casemiro. Remarkably, the 21-year-old had not missed a beat. He has since secured his spot in the United first team as the Reds move to within touching distance of the Champions League.